Now, thousands of people say they are living in a perpetual state of fear. They're housed in a high-rise building and clad with cladding, which is similar to material to used on the Grenfell Tower. Well, the government had promised the blocks would be stripped in the wake of the tragedy. But more than 18 months on, 5 News has discovered that very few have been made safe. 437 buildings in England were identified as at risk, with only 67 now passing building regulations. And it's worse for those in private accommodation. 176 private blocks were deemed dangerous, but just 5 have had their cladding removed. Well, Peter Lane has been to Manchester to hear about residents' worries.
Becky is just one of thousands of people around the country still waiting for the cladding on their buildings to be removed. She and fellow residents at this privately owned block in Manchester were told back in 2017 that their building needed the safety changes, but nothing has happened.
We are still in a situation where we're living in a building, an unsafe building, and the works could have started by now. They have started on other buildings, so I don't understand why they're taking so long for that to happen. They're just delaying and delaying and delaying, when actually it's an urgent situation for us that are living in the building.
As soon as I saw Grenfell, I basically went and got one of these fire escape ladders.
In the neighbouring block, Mark has an escape rope ladder to get out of his flat, standing by just in case. Almost all of the private residential blocks around the country identified as at risk still have the cladding. And in almost 100 of them, like Mark's and Becky's, there's no agreement over who should pay.
It's almost a paper exercise. It's people looking at the contractual issues, it's people looking at timelines and plans. And what's forgotten is the people who are living in these buildings and the fact that they go to bed every night worried about, will they hear an alarm? What do they do? Do they get out? How do they get out? Not being able to move, not being able to remortgage. And that's a considerable stress to everybody.
Today, the site developer told us, we are working with multiple parties with the intention of finding a solution which means residents will not have to pay for cladding replacement costs. And the building owner said, we want to reassure apartment owners that we are committed to resolving this complex situation. A lot of paperwork, a long fight since 2017. Mark and Becky preparing for their latest meeting with the building developers tomorrow. The wait for peace of mind for so many people like them around the country goes on. Peter Lane, 5 News.